Now there's still plenty of noise, and here's the starting lineup for Oakland. Sims, Wisniewski goes to his 8th Pro Bowl. Robbins, Collins, Lincoln, Kennedy. Some thought he should be going to Honolulu. Wheatley, the top runner, closing in on 1,000 yards. Crockett, the great Tim Brown with Chet outside, and the tight end is Ricky Dudley. Brown in motion, and the toss to Wheatley. And he is met rudely for a loss at the 13-yard line by Anthony Simmons and Chad Brown. Well, the Seahawks, if that's any indication, they emotionally are up today. Sinclair, Parker, Kennedy, and LaBounty. LaBounty for the injured Lamar King. Simmons, Kuntz, and Brown. You've met 2 of those already on that tackle, with Sean Springs and Willie Williams at the corners, Bellamy and Joseph the safety. Kirby, the new Raider, is flanked way out to the right side, bottom of your screen, out of the picture, and Gannon's first pass attempt. Underneath he goes, incomplete, almost intercepted by Chad Brown. Through the hands of Jet, and Brown had a touchdown if he could have collected it.
And Dick, there is the Seattle season in a microcosm. Those are the plays that winning teams make, and teams that just struggle all year don't, because this ball just drops right through the hands of Chad Brown. And this is a guy that's been in the National Football League for 8 years, has been to Pro Bowls. That is an automatic 6 points.
2 tight ends. Gannon throws. Incomplete, intercepted on the ricochet. It goes to number 55, Marcus Bell, and Bell is all the way inside the 10 before Jeremy Brigham can make the tackle.
And Gannon's hurt.
Oh, Gannon down.
Oh, Rich Gannon came over to try to get involved making the tackle. And right now, it's a big story for Seattle, but the story right now is Rich Gannon down on the ground.
Pass went right through the fingertips of his receiver, and here he gets the hit.
Rich Gannon, as you can see, just somehow something happens to his right leg. Look at him clutching his right knee, still on the ground.
Extreme concern on the Raider bench. Gannon was able to jog off under his own power as they attend to him. Injured while being blocked on the interception return. 3rd down and 12. Into the flat, complete. And fighting into the end zone for a touchdown is Max Strong, the fullback. Strong with his first touchdown of the entire year.
Well, and he does it just on effort. Nothing more than effort, because he's tackled at about the 6-yard line and says, no, I'm not.
And the try for point by Ryan Lindell, with the punter Fugels holding, and with the interception by Marcus Bell. 3rd down, 13-yard pass. John Kipna to his fullback, Max Strong. And he uses some strength, breaks the tackle. Seattle with the lead. Randy Jordan in the backfield. Gannon fires. Complete. And Tim Brown going to the 30, the 20, and finally tackled at the Seattle 20-yard line. Tim Brown and Andre Rison working on that loose Seattle defense.
Well, Ike Charlton, number 23, is the corner from Seattle, running with Tim Brown, and he gambles foolishly trying to get in front of Tim Brown to get the football, and comes up with neither the football nor Brown. And Brown kind of runs into Rison at the conclusion of that play.
3rd down and 4. Brown in motion, ever dangerous, and Gannon looking that way. Fires. Touchdown, Andre Rison.
No pass rush. That's the reason the Raiders had all day to allow Rison to come all the way across the end zone, and Rich Gannon was in the proverbial rocking chair. Andre Rison, who starts clear out on the right. This pattern takes a while to run all the way across the end zone like that. And Rich Gannon, even then when he threw it to Rison, could have stayed even longer. Great job by the Raiders up front.
14 yards to Rison, who has his 6th touchdown of the season, complimenting Tim Brown. And now Janikowski, the rookie, the extra point is good. 75 yards in 7 plays. Rison with a score. We're tied at 7. Seahawks line up this way. Jones, Kendall, Gray, Wedderburn, McIntosh, that young right side of the line. Holmgren thinks has a great future. Waters, the runner, strong, has the touchdown already. Mays and Dawkins, the wideouts. And Fourier is the tight end. Waters in motion, and then the toss back to Sean Alexander, the #1 draft pick of the Seahawks out of Alabama. Nothing there except 59, William Thomas, and Greg Beekert, 54. Here are the Raiders starters defensively. Bryant already with a sack. Jackson, Russell, and Upshaw. Upshaw for Lance Johnstone today. Thomas, Beekert, and Alexander, the veteran linebacking core. The back four of Charles Woodson. He goes to the Pro Bowl again. Eric Allen with Dorsett and Pope at safety. Kipna brought down, and he fumbles the ball, and it's covered by the Seahawks. Regan Upshaw made the hit, gets the sack, and Pete Kendall, the left guard, able to fall on the loose ball.
But it is a while. If you look at the flags on top of the field, it's blowing one way. Down on the field, you look at the goalposts in one direction, they're going one way, the other one the other. This is well, it's just a rotten day. There's no way to sugarcoat this.
40-yard attempt by Ryan Lindell. Speak your mind, Dan. Speak your mind.
Well, I think they have a little help here with the win.
And he holds the line. It looked as if it wanted to go right, but came back to the left on the fade. And Lindell gives Seattle a 3-point lead. David Dunn back at the 15 as Spiegels to punt. Raiders have blocked some kicks this year, and they get this one. And it's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Bobby Brooks. Bobby Brooks, who was injured earlier, smothers it off Spiegels' foot.
And Bob Casulo, the special teams coach, goes nuts on his sidelines. Boy, that'll make your day, won't it, Bob?
Third and goal. Gannon gets away from one, but not another. And that knee, no question, that slowed him down. He would have been in for a touchdown on a healthy knee.
I could not agree with you more, Dick. No question.
Sebastian Janikowski from Florida State, who started slowly but has made 14, make it 15 of his last 17, counting the one earlier today.
Do they have 255-pound sea bass?
Probably.
Because he's a big one.
He really is. 255, they say, this rookie. It's tied here at Husky Stadium with 6:04 left before the intermission.
Denver's fighting for the AFC West title. Then feel the heat in the AFC East. Indy collides with Miami, and the playoff pressure is on Sunday on CBS.
Rain pelting off the running track surface here at Husky Stadium. We're pleased that you joined us on this special Saturday in the great Northwest. And the rain intensifies here in Seattle, and the wind blowing the ball around the center. Chris Gray having to really stomp on it. The draw play to Waters, and Waters breaking tackles. He's to the 40. He's inside the 35-yard line, and a timeout with 6 seconds left in the half.
Well, there's a call by Mike Holmgren. But let's face it, if Ricky Waters gets tackled at the line of scrimmage, this place erupts in boos. But look at it now. Now here's a call that may end up giving his team a shot at a lead at halftime. But this is one where the boos come down from the upper decks if Ricky Waters doesn't get more than a couple yards.
Now it's Seattle with a chance at a long field goal in the lead at halftime as rookie Ryan Lindell from Washington State. He grew up in Vancouver, Washington, so he's well accustomed throughout high school, college, and now as a young pro to these conditions, but this length, it would be his longest.
And
52.
the danger here is you try to drive a long field goal low. Watch out for the block.
It is good. Good. Oh, my.
Not a bad call, Mike, with that draw. You worry about hitting a long field goal low, but Lindell got that ball way up into the air.
His longest previous field goal, 51, and in miserable conditions, he gives Seattle the lead at the half.
You see that the Raiders are running the ball effectively, but Seattle will not go away. And, of course, the one Raider turnover resulted in a Seattle touchdown after that interception. So you have to commend the Seahawks, Dick, for the way they have played with emotion, the way they have played hard. They have nothing to gain from winning today's game other than respect.
And remember, the Seahawks are last in the NFL in defense. They've allowed more yards than anyone. The Raiders unable to take advantage thus far as Kerry Joseph and Charlie Rogers line up to receive the kickoff, and we're underway in the second half. It spins down to Rogers at the 5. And he's out to the 30, the 31-yard line. Hit by David Dunn. Here are the scoring plays first half. Strong on the reception.
And then Andre Rison, after great pass protection, Rich Gannon gets a wonderful look. And that now it becomes a field goal contest. Lindell from 40. Janikowski is going to come right back from 25. And then this one that closed out the first half and surprised everybody. Lindell drilling one from 52 yards into the wind.
Like trying to watch a game from a shower here.
Oh, that
was your home shower. Fumble and a big scramble, and it appears Kitna able to fall on it himself. Yep, he comes up with it.
Well, that's because I don't think any of the Raider defensive linemen saw it. This ball's on the ground for a while. Look at how long that thing sits there, and no Raider defensive lineman able to come after it.
Jeff Eagles, and he hits it off the side of his foot out of bounds at the 47-yard line. He almost missed that ball. I believe the wind is blowing so unpredictably it almost blew it away from his foot. A break for the Raiders.
Look how the wind catches that football. But keep in mind, Feagles has had one blocked, and that ball just drifted off to the right. He only hits it with the outside of his right foot, and that is a 100% shank right out of bounds.
From the 21, the first down. Here comes Wheatley to the 40. He could go all the way. 30, 20, and out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Sean Springs.
Ohio State just caught Michigan.
That hasn't happened often in recent years, has it? And Springs, with his speed, saved the touchdown.
Well, first of all, what a job at the line of scrimmage. Nobody even to challenge Tyrone Wheatley, and then downfield he gets away from Jay Bellamy. But with the angle coming all the way over from the far cornerback position, Sean Springs. Tyrone Wheatley had a pretty good hand on Springs' face mask.
Now Wheatley over 100 today. Jordan again. He's to the goal line. Touchdown. Randy Jordan, his second of the year.
And that's good power football. Right off left guard, Steve Wisniewski. Robbins. There's Wisniewski, 76. Zach Crockett with the lead block. Barrett Robbins, the center. Boy, that's just power football. That's old-fashioned Raider football. Smash mouth into the end zone.
And Jordan, one of 5 different tailbacks used by John Gruden this year, has his second score. Janikowski's try for a point. Bad snap, but the kick is through. So that touchdown brought some groans from Tennessee and from Denver as Oakland claims the lead. Raiders back in front. 87-yard drive in 5 plays, inspired by the 67-yard run by Tyrone Wheatley as Jordan gets the score 6 yards out. Janikowski skids one down to Charlie Rogers. 20, 30, 40, and he's all the way to the Raider 48-yard line, but a flag and another flag is down.
These flags came in very late. These flags came in at the conclusion of the run.
Personal foul, a big one on the face mask. And John Kitna's back in the game for Seattle. Kitna back in the game, throws in, intercepted by Eric Allen. Check it, it's Charles Woodson. Woodson intended for Sean Dawkins. Listen to the Raider fans here in Seattle. Woodson's 4th of the year.
Well, it's just Woodson and Dawkins, but look at Charles Woodson. Look how he gets in front of Sean Dawkins. And Dawkins is arguing that he got interfered with by Charles Woodson.
Gannon loses the ball. It's right to the Raiders. Oh, my Sims, Barry Sims, playing a tackle, able to fall on the ball after it squirted out of Gannon's hands.
Rich moving to his left, and he goes to pull back to throw. He found somebody he wanted to throw it to, and he just lost his grip on the ball. And again, there wasn't anyone from Seattle who saw it in the first second or so that it was on the ground. A fortuitous roll right to a Raider.
3rd and 10. Shovel pass complete, and it's Jordan. 50, one man to beat. Randy Jordan. Caught from behind. What a tackle by Reggie Tung, just clipping the heels of Jordan, and we have a flag down back at the 40-yard line in Seattle territory.
When the play fell off his pocket, there is no penalty.
I was going to say, Rich Gannon picked up that flag and carried it about 10 yards downfield and handed it to Bernie Kukar. You heard the explanation. There is no flag. There's the old shovel pass. That's not Lee Gross Cup. That's Randy Jordan taking off with that. And boy, what a fine block downfield by Zach Crockett.
Jordan, big hole, touchdown.
That's an offensive line touchdown right there, Dick. Randy Jordan gets his second one of the day, but that's an offensive line touchdown. This is a case of the big uglies laboring away in obscurity, but Lord, look at that blocking at the line of scrimmage. Jordan runs through a couple tackles down by the goal line, but impressive work up front by this Raider offensive line.
And Jeff Eagles, who knows what's going on underneath that helmet after the misplay on the punt, giving the Raiders the ball at the 15. Janikowski adds the extra point right into the large video screen on the eastern end of the stadium here in Seattle. And the first place Raiders finally have some breathing room, up by 11. Janikowski short kick. Rogers breaks a tackle and gets out across the 30 to the 33.
We're up here so high we can hardly see the field.
But always thinking, nevertheless.
Oh, you know that.
12th play of the drive. It's 3rd down and less than a yard. Sean Alexander is in the backfield. He gets the handoff. Touchdown, Seattle. Sean Alexander, the 218-pound rookie #1 draft pick from Alabama, his second score of the year. Now the 2-point try that could pull the Seahawks within a field goal.
Well, every team goes into a game with a couple written down on the old chart. It depends on what stage of the game, what personnel are still healthy. Here's Mike Holmgren's selection.
Alexander still in the game, not Waters. The throw, not even close. Intended for Sean Dawkins, and he had a blanket for wearing him, Charles Woodson.
I was going to say, why of all people would you challenge Charles Woodson?
Well, Seattle will have a chance to support these hardy fans at Husky Stadium with a upset chance. They're down by only 5 and will get the ball. Charlie Rogers back at the 22. Leckler, who has been had high grades as a punter in his rookie season, floats it. Wynn catches it, and it'll take a Raider roll inside the 30-yard line. And that's where Seattle begins with just under 3 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Draw play. And Waters weaving his way. Now in the open at the 40. Then he fumbles the ball. And the Raiders recover as Marquez Pope stripped the ball from behind, and
Charles Woodson, I think it was. I think Charles Woodson knocked the ball loose as he came across.
And Marquez Pope recovers, and that one went from the emotions of Seattle, perhaps with an upset win, to the heartbreak of the Raiders recovering down. They're going to mark it, I believe, on the 1-yard line.
Watch from the left. Watch from the left of your screen. Right there, the tomahawk by Charles Woodson knocks the football loose from Ricky Waters. And look at it go. And Marquez Pope and a host of Raiders there to gather in the ball. Boy, we saw Charles Woodson drag down Tyrone Wheatley. And now Charles Woodson, with that remarkable speed, puts the old Lawrence Taylor chop on the football.
But Woodson perhaps saving the hopes of being the #1 seed for the Raiders.
On the field is the defense recovered the ball. It is a safety.
Yeah. A safety.
Oh my! So 2 points to the Seahawks, and they're going to get the ball back on a free kick if it is upheld.
They're saying he recovered the football on the 1-yard line, slid into the end zone, and was touched there for a safety. But let's look. Here's how it starts. Charles Woodson. Here's the saver right there. Ricky Waters doesn't sense that anyone is that close to him. And Charles Woodson with a direct KO. All right, where's the recovery? No question, Marquez Pope has the football, but he slides on into the end zone. John Gruden is arguing that the impetus of the football carried him on into the end zone. Remember, if you intercept the ball on the 2, they call that intercepting momentum that will take you on into the end zone.
And this is recovering momentum by Pope, who skids into the end zone and then is touched down.
What we can't see from that angle, Dick, is exactly when Marquez Pope secures complete control of the football. Let's look here. Maybe we'll get a better look at it here. Where does he get complete control of that football?
Yeah, we're screened on that angle.
Wow, that is a I have to admit that call surprises me.
The officials are still huddling, and John Gruden arguing the Raider case vehemently.
If that was an intercepted ball, your going into the end zone is completely acceptable. I have to admit, I have never seen a situation like this where someone gets the football, recovers a fumble, slides into the end zone, and then is touched for a safety. I have never seen that before. And I sense most of you have not either.
Rolling on the field is a safety. Please get on the field.
What an incredible call at such a momentous point in this game. Ball free, and covered there by Pope. It looks as if he has possession about the 1-yard line and then skids in.
And I guess Marquez Pope, his only option there was to jump up, scramble, and try to get himself back out of that end zone. And I don't think we can fault Marquez Pope for not realizing that if he didn't get out of that end zone, he was going to get tagged for a safety.
It is not like a pass interception. The established possession in the field of play, and because of the wet turf, skids in. And that's just Jerry Markreich, the longtime head of NFL officials, offering that explanation. It is not the same as interception momentum. He had established possession at the 1 and therefore was responsible for getting back in the field of play. So the free kick now by Leckler with Rodgers at the 15. There's still 2:24 left, and it's a 3-point game. The Raiders lead. Rodgers, and he is to the 39-yard line. Travian Smith makes the tackle.
Well, we'll see how much this play has a bearing on the football game.
Kitna. It's complete to his tight end, Itola Mealy, and it's another Seattle first down. A wobbler, but Mealy was wide open.
And when you say wide open, you're not kidding, as he just runs this simple pattern against the Raiders zone. He's completely lost.
As rain pours down on Husky Field. 2nd and 5. Kitna to the end zone. No good. Sean Dawkins, the intended receiver. It was close to being a touchdown. Tony Bryant was forcing Kitna to fire.
Well, the Seahawks going with 4 wide receivers. Dawkins is to the outside. The slot breaks outside. And that was a beautifully thrown ball by John Kitna. Look at him put this ball right on the hands of Sean Dawkins. Boy, that is a heck of a throw.
3rd and 5. Kitna. Touchdown! Darrell Jackson.
Well, this might be the closest that Seattle gets to a playoff atmosphere here today.
Darrell Jackson, the leading rookie receiver in the league this year. Most catches and now most touchdowns. That's his 6th. And the man Holmgren thinks will be a star for him. Shines brightly on this gloomy day in Seattle. And Oakland now with only 28 seconds to try to come up with its own miracle. Oh, this could help. This could help. And now only a field goal is necessary as the ball is kicked illegally by the kicker Lindell. 19 seconds left from the 45. Gannon, incomplete, deflected, intercepted. Willie Williams on the deflection, and that should seal it for Seattle. Unbelievable.
Well, we're going to want to take a look. How close was this ball to hitting the ground? I'm sure right now the Raiders are going to want to let's get a replay of this and take a peek.
Tim Brown, the receiver, it's deflected, and Willie Williams on his back.
It's the Raiders' only hope right now that somehow this deflected ball hits the ground. No way. No way. That's a reception. That's an interception, rather, by Willie Williams. And can you believe this?
On a Saturday rainy day in Seattle, the kneel down, 10 seconds to go. And the Oakland Raiders, heavy favorites here to advance to 11-3, have to swallow a very difficult loss.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Subway postgame show here on CBS. Jim Nance with Mike Ditka and Randy Cross. A killer loss for the Raiders. And now the Denver Broncos are in the driver's seat in the AFC West. The Broncos can win their last 2 games, tomorrow against Kansas City, and then next Saturday at home against San Francisco. The Broncos will win the AFC West. Fellas, take us through it. What do you think?
The worst call I've ever seen. You can't justify, rationalize, and make this understandable. The ball is not in control until he crosses the end zone line. It is a touchback period. The ball should go to the 20-yard line. Now, they can call it anything they want to, but it's a bad call.
It may be in the rules this way, but every year we have a play like this that happens, and it's addressed by the competition committee. Fellas, you've got one to look at right now. That is wrong.
They just punished the Raiders for making a great play. That's stupid.
What was the guy supposed to do that recovered that ball?
On a slippery
He
field.
can't advance it. But the happiest guy in Seattle is Jeff Fiegels.
All right, Mike Holmgren's team pulls off the upset.